Welcome to hear how KONE delivers intelligent experiences with AEM guides and fluid topics. KONE has been doing quite a lot of progress in that area, so let's dive into the area. My name is Hanna Heinonen. I am the digital content lead for KONE R&D located in Finland, and I am nearing 25 years of experience from the TC domain. I'm joined today by my colleague Kristian Forsman from KONE, and then also my favorite gentleman from France, Fabrice. So please introduce yourselves.
Thank you, Hanna. Hello, Kristian. So I'm Fabrice Lacroix, founder and CEO of Fluid Topics, and we've been happy working with you for many years, progressing as well in innovating in the domain of content delivery. So happy to share that with you today.
Hi, also from my side, Kristian here. So working as a product owner in KONE R&D for technical documentation and translation management. I have also a couple of years in this area, so nice to be here with you all.
We are almost 100 years of experience together in this domain, so let's see what we can tell you about this area. I'll first introduce a couple of things about KONE, what we do, and why. So KONE, our tagline, our purpose is that we shape the future of cities. We are a company that we work with elevators, escalators, building doors, and so-called people flow solutions. In a way, we are successful if you do not see us. So we make the cities go around. So you probably have taken an elevator or escalator manufactured or maintained by us. Shortly, KONE in numbers. So we were founded in 1910, family-owned, still family-owned, and headquartered in Finland. We are a global company and with 60,000 employees and 600,000 customers worldwide. Our equipment maintenance database is somewhere around 1.6 million at the moment. As I said, global presence almost in all parts of the world. There are some light blue areas, but you can see us nicely scattered around the world. What is now driving the business is digitalization. So we used to be a hardware company maintaining boxes that basically took you from one floor to another. Now we are actually pretty much driving lots of digitalization initiatives, and also our customers, they do want real-time information, immediate responses, and full transparency. So we've also connected the customer to the full thing. Connectivity is definitely a key enabler for our what we do, and also for our smarter service delivery. I always say that also for smarter content delivery to the people. KONE Technical Documentation, we are an old unit, established somewhere around, I think, 1970s when I was born. I always say that there are two sides to this story. So the content definitely is the queen. She rules it all. She is the intelligent one there. Supported by lots of things. We cannot use content without, or we cannot author content without tools, and we cannot deliver content without tools. So tools are definitely the enablers, the little bees that work to get the content to the people who need it. I hope you both agree with this statement here.
Yes.
KONE Content Creation, we are a global unit, as all of KONE R&D units are, located in different parts of the world. So Finland, China, India, USA, and Mexico. Together, around 45 people producing quality content for our users. And we are using AEM guides since 2020. Currently implementing DIDA 1.3 as of August 2020, but we have been using DIDA since 2015. Our guiding force has been to keep it as simple as possible. I always say that I have sometimes made in my past things unnecessarily complex. So I have wanted to keep it as simple as possible at KONE. We are using Oasis data. We haven't specialized anything, and we are using a limited set of elements. So definitely not using the full 600 elements of the data 1.3 spec, but we have a limited set of elements that our people know how to use. KONE content creation vision. We have two sides to this story as well. So we want to reuse content across publications. So that's where, of course, topic level, we started with topic level reuse and then have been building up on the different data reuse mechanisms there. So conreffing, conditional profiling, keys, and of course, there are many things that you can do there to scale up. But we started small, have been building on top of the existing features there. Then we also do single sourcing across media, with publications and with single topics. So that enables us to deliver in different formats. We do still generate PDF files. They mainly go to our archives. Our main delivery channel is the dynamic delivery service and then online portal. So that's actually where the people access our information. Talking about visions, so of course, people have been doing static publications that are basically pre-generated. They are published as they are and then used as they are. They are standard one-size-fits-all type of things. We don't do lots of that type of things. But we've also utilized the same content to compile publications dynamically on the fly to fit the people who actually use it. They can then be personalized. They can be customized for the person's needs. And then, of course, both of these can be in multiple formats. So that is the beauty of data, that you can, with a single click of a button, you can publish to multiple formats from that format. But we are heavily going towards more dynamic, and we have many examples from these, both from our maintenance and installation documentation. I always say that the context is what matters to the user. So when they are working with it, they do not want to spend time looking for information. So what we want to do is deliver the information directly into the context that they are working with. Information that focuses on what they do, what they need to do, guides them through the job, and then adapts to the devices they're using. And we want to avoid the irrelevant. That is the main pet peeve of our people. They say, if they get a long document, they say that I do not know what to look for it in, or where to find the information that I need. So we want to pinpoint the exact information that they kind of want to predict what they need in that situation and deliver the information that they need in that format. All right, let's take a look at the KONE Tech Doc setup. And Kristian, if you take over from here.
Yeah, thank you. A small visualization, what we have been doing since 2015. As you said, we went into Data 1.2 in 2015 already, and wanted to go a bit dynamic. So actually in 2017, we took fluid topics into use with the delivery. We have had some changes in the CCMSs due to many reasons, but in 2020 we went to AEM, started using AEM as the platform for creating, authoring the content. And in 2024, last year, we actually then moved also to the UUID version of AEM, added also phrase for the translation management. And I mean, the target is to rise, so we are going into the clouds, even if you can see that there are bumps and challenges on the way, as it is always when changing systems.
Let me chime in here, Kristian. I have a question for you. How did you convince your management to make this investment? Because Tech Doc is something that's quite far away from the C-level suite, and then you have to go to those people and say, okay, we need money for that. It's like, did you have to build a complex business case, or did you explain the innovation? How did you manage that?
Well, I think Hanna, probably have the best answer to this one, because you've been participating all the way from the beginning. What did you do?
Well, I think the crucial part was that we teamed up so that, as I said, we have the content and then we have the tools. So we have been working together, both the content side and then the IT side together from the beginning. So we do get basically the benefits from and also the arguments from both sides. But what we actually calculated was the return on investment that we can get from here. Of course, there are efficiency factors that come into play from CCMSs, but also from the delivery side, if the users can get the information that they need and spend 10 less minutes at the elevator, that actually translates to million. As I said, 1.6 million equipment in a maintenance space. So that actually then the minutes translate into millions. So we showcased the calculations to the business side, and they said, okay, it takes some convincing to do. But we've been doing that keeping a noise of what we do. So I think that is a crucial part. So also justifying what we do and how we do it. So that is an important part of the thing. Internal selling of what we can do.
It's part of the job, explaining what you do and how it's going to impact
Yes.
the company, not just trying to explain how much it's going to improve the efficiency of the tech doc team itself, but how transitioning to modern tools will really impact the operations at the company scale.
Operations and the users. So not only the people who are authoring the content, but the actual users who use it. So what can we do for them and how can we bring efficiency into that? And what type of KPIs we can also bring, from our side of operations to the actual business. So I think that has been a crucial factor.
Okay, thanks.
All right, Tech Doc setup then.
Yeah, it's busy slide, a lot of details, but just wanted to kind of tell you what we basically have set up. So we are still in managed service on Adobe. UUID, we are final stages of testing the 5.0 of guides. Looking good. We basically use our KONE single sign-on solution for managing the rights in AEM. So we're not doing it inside AEM, we are doing it outside. We are only using a web editor in AEM. Probably a surprise to somebody, but we are still using only web editor. There are other teams using AEM as well, like marketing, training, and so on, but main focus TechDoc here. In the author, we are using acrolinks checks, and we have also made it available for the creative teams to use AEM when working with the illustrations. Dynamic media, a crucial part of the dynamic delivery of images to site, like KONE.com and so on. So that is used there. More and more videos coming. What comes to PDF, we are not getting rid of PDF yet. We are using GitOpen Toolkit due to legacy partly, but also we have a lot of complex tables, and it seems that Antenna House is still a little bit better at the moment to manage those. So that is where we are using, that's why we are using. For the custom output to the dynamic delivery, we are basically just making XML packages and delivering that to Fluid Topics. And as said, translation via phrase. Very quickly, shortly about the setup. I don't mention everything, but you know, it's a lot of tools, as Hanna said, not only content, but there needs a little bit of tools to make all work. Thanks.
It's an ecosystem, full thing.
Yeah.
Hey, let's take a look at the content development shortly where we are working with. So as I said, we have transformed the company from a more like hardware electronics company into also a company that works with data. So all of our new equipment are natively connected. We also have solutions for older legacy equipment to connect them. So we do get lots of connectivity, lots of data from the equipment. But when you think about the user, this is a maintenance technician working with something. Does the data alone help to perform the tasks? Rarely. They are not. Data is not easy to interpret, and in many cases, it actually comes in from multiple sources. As I also already mentioned, we do understand also the pain that the long and complicated instructions cause. So when you are, for example, installing an elevator, it's a long procedure that spans over days. So these tend to, in full length, they tend to run long. We also want to consider the factors that when these people are actually working, it's a high-risk environment. So how can they efficiently use instructions when they're working at the equipment? So if they're located on the elevator car roof, using that as a maintenance platform on the 90th floor, how do we make sure that they get the information that they need and do not fall off the elevator car roof, for example? Important part of what we do. But what happens then when you turn the data into smart information for your users? If we can somehow make a connection between the data that we're getting from the equipment and turn that into something really useful for the people who are actually working with the equipment. What if you can take that 10 minutes of each service visit? We're talking about 80,000 daily maintenance visits here, so the minutes turn into millions pretty quickly. As I mentioned, we've built lots of business cases with this. But of course, business loves this. It's efficiency. It is KONE internal work and then therefore also money. Our solution has been turning that data into smart information. So we've basically been working with dynamic delivery of information. So let's have a look at that.
Yeah, it's not complicated. I mean, you just need to have content managed well. You need to have something that where you deliver it. You have application querying, fetching, using metadata to kind of get the content and just display it in the application in the right context.
Well, wait a second. You say it's not complicated. I don't get it, because you say you pull content using metadata. How did you manage to make those metadata, put those metadata in place? Did you already have that before starting up front, or were you adding the metadata later? What's the process? Did you design taxonomy? What's the entire process? Because we see a lot of customers struggling a bit here because they feel they have the content, but because that content used to be statically published and with PDFs, you don't need metadata when you generate PDFs. So usually when they transition to structured content, they realize that they haven't made that investment. How complex was that for you? What's your journey here?
Yeah, I think it's a long journey because we have been adding a lot of metadata to our content for a long time. Sometimes, of course, having difficulties convincing people that it makes sense because we did not have probably a good use case for everything in the beginning. As you said, PDFs were generated and you don't really need that much metadata for that. But we were still kind of enforcing and making people add metadata to a lot of content, which has now been a very good thing, of course, because we have it tagged. That being said, it's of course not always so that we did the right thing when we added metadata many years ago. So of course we have noticed that we have had to revise a little bit our schemas. We have probably needed to add some metadata. We have been able to, in some cases, not add metadata, but use features of, well, fluid topics. We have been able to enrich some of the metadata, so not having forced the user to have to kind of, or the authors to add a lot of metadata. But it's a combination, and of course you can hope that you are 100% right, but you will not be. There are always a balance. But of course, we had a lot of good work done many years back.
It's also a dynamic system, so you have to keep evolving that based on the needs. So whenever the need comes up, if we don't have the correct metadata, then we of course then enhance the model that we have. So we're working towards this. I think we have the main setup there, but then whatever the fine tuning of it, basically it's an ongoing process.
Yeah. Okay, that's interesting. So your advice here is do foundational investment into metadata as soon as you can, be pragmatic, and then iterate to optimize that and add more as you understand the needs and the business case and the use case for those metadata for putting the right piece of information like the context or the profile of the user and all that. Okay, very interesting.
I mean, we have also kind of said no to some metadata because you could basically do too much and it doesn't make sense. The benefit is not enough. So it is a balance, and it's actually a challenge to make the right decisions. So good question. Thanks.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, about delivery platform options. So, I mean, in the simplest form, you could only have a file share, or you could put the content on a website or your company website. But at least we have been choosing something where we kind of were able to utilize the metadata, both metadata that we have inside the XML, but also metadata that we put on the published package that we publish, the publication set. And for that we have been using Fluid Topics. And also another important thing that has helped us in our kind of implementation is that the Fluid Topics also have a REST API, meaning that we can really get the small content pieces with the right metadata tag. We can get it into the application where we want it and help the user. So my advice, what comes to delivery platform, I would not start to develop it myself in-house. I would take something solid from the shelf. Of course, it depends on the company, but focus on the content creation and metadata tagging, I think, would be my tip. Yeah. My thinking about the principles in REST API, we see it as two different options that we are at least utilizing. One is that we are transforming the XML content already to something that applications can consume directly. They can still style it a little bit with CSS. They are losing some of the rich semantic of the data XML. That is really, really rich. We are losing that when we do this option, but it makes it a lot easier for the applications that are using this option. But we also are using this kind of, hey, let's also deliver a raw XML, because this is where we have been able to show that we can use the rich semantic of the XML to drive the user experience actually in the application. It requires a little bit more from the developers, but it really has a lot of power in it. But they need to be able to transform that into something understandable.
Yeah. But we built full UIs with raw XML with the developers. So it's a powerful feature if you can use that.
Yes.
But does require lots of alignment with the developers, so not the easiest start.
It's not the easiest start.
Okay. And for yourself, did you sort of uncover some complexity and difficulty? Because when you started creating content years ago and that content was delivered as PDF, did you have to rework a bit of your content or some content complexity that was not, because it was not adapted to these new channels, like whether it's the portal, TechDoc, whatever, AR, VR, all the things that you do, this magic that you do? Does that require something?
Yeah, good point. At least two things came to my mind when you said that. Some images we have not, we have not been so worried if they are a little bit big in size. But now when we want to deliver something like this, very compact into a mobile app, we noticed that, okay, some of our really big images, SVG images, are a little bit too big for that use case. So we have had to redo some of our images to make sure that they are small, that they render fast. And sometimes we have also been able to simplify that, because you have not the same problem in a PDF. Another thing is also that when you're writing for a PDF, even if you are doing it in data, you might be writing a little bit too long topics with a little bit too much, or you have combined some images with two different use cases. So those have been, we have been required, or we have had to rewrite those a little bit in order to kind of, and or also for the conditioning, that we noticed that what we did in PDF was not perfect for conditioning really in our use case, and also for the mobile optimized things.
Yeah. And one thing also we've had to also stress a lot is that do not get lost in the look and feel of the PDF file, for example. What matters actually is the semantics of XML. So use it wisely. If something doesn't look good in PDF, we will fine tune the PDF style sheet. We can always do that. Do pay attention to the correct tagging, because that is actually what makes sense. So I think this has been a learning journey also for the whole global team.
Okay. Good points. Thanks.
Yeah, and then finally, just here, like a small visualization of the concept. So our application developers, they are actually using the content delivery solution when they are building the application package that is downloadable for the mobile. But they are also, when they are developing the application, they are using content from the delivery platform dynamically directly. And they are using both those options that I had earlier there. So pre-HTML or then like the raw XML. And it's really cool, and it's so powerful, and there are so many benefits of having the content driving UI, for example, because you don't have to create a new application version. You can just update the content and you actually do magic in the tool itself. So
that's what some of the people actually call it magic. They keep asking us, can you do your magic with this? Well, yes, we can.
Yeah. So, I mean, that is probably in short there. So the only thing that you probably, when you're developing, you need to take into account that does this app have to work offline or not. It little bit changes how you are building it. At least for us, this is a use case, because if you are in a new area where there is not so good connectivity and you're in a shaft, might be that your application need to actually work offline as well. So take that into account when starting to do these kind of things.
Everybody wants to do Gen AI, so we thought that we will also showcase what we've done in that area. Let's first take a look at a video that actually shows the user experience on how the users see the solution that we have developed.
We bring new solutions to our customers in order to shape the future of cities. We move 2 billion people on our elevators and escalators every day. And this is almost a quarter of the entire world population. The innovations we do today could impact how you and I will live in cities in the future. It's like climbing a mountain that no one has done before, so really nothing beats that. We have 40,000 technicians making over 100,000 visits to our customers every day, serving all different kinds of equipment. When generative AI came out, we saw a huge opportunity of leveraging that technology to make an impact to our technicians. And here came Technician Assistant.
Ci sono anche giornate in cui sono tutta la giornata al telefono con i tecnici, fermi i blocchi degli ascensori o delle scale mobili, ai quali i tecnici non hanno una soluzione immediata oppure non riescono ad arrivare alla soluzione a causa della complessità del guasto. L'assistente tecnico è per il tecnico un primo punto di contatto per risolvere queste problematiche.
We start the journey right away with AWS as our strategic partner. We've been using Amazon Bedrock, so via that we access up-to-date foundation models, in this case Cloud 3.
Ha un grosso impatto sul tempo nostro, evitando tante chiamate, tanti contatti da parte dei tecnici.
Over the last few months, we've been doing field trial with over 100 technicians, both in Europe and in Asia. We also just heard that also some technicians participating in the trial would actually help their friends that are not in the trial to answer some of the questions using Technician Assistant.
KONE è un'azienda che sta investendo molto nella digitalizzazione. Impianti sempre più collegati, soluzioni digitali sempre più avanzate. KONE è un'azienda che si impegna molto in un business etico e sostenibile e poi ha una cura particolare per le persone. Avere tutti gli impianti collegati, questa è la nostra sfida principale nell'ambito della manutenzione. Le cose che avvenivano prima che ci fosse l'assistente tecnico era che appunto il tecnico magari perdeva un'ora di tempo sull'impianto per cercare di risolvere il guasto, dopo un'ora chiamava lo specialista, noi lo chiamiamo THD, il nostro help desk, a volte trovava la linea occupata perché chiaramente migliaia e migliaia di tecnici che chiamano questi tecnici possono esserci dei picchi e quindi tempo perso, il cliente chiaramente aspettava e quindi un disservizio notevole.
I think the best feedback I heard so far was that, okay, this look as if I have developed the tool myself.
La tecnologia ha sviluppato dei prodotti che monitorano lo stato dell'ascensore e danno dei feedback ai tecnici. Noi capiamo la tipologia di guasto e di conseguenza interveniamo.
Finora abbiamo ridotto molto le chiamate, la vedo come un'opportunità.
Via AWS, we have access to cutting-edge technologies, and it's also with the partnership and co-innovation we can kick off things fast. When we started, we were very much experimenting, just go and try it out, not to overthink about what can or cannot do, but just get going and start trying. And of course, always think about your customer, putting the human in the center.
Let me go into how this is actually done. So this is the solution. The technician assistant is meant for troubleshooting cases. And the current situation is that if our technicians are not able to solve a problem at hand, they conduct the help desk. We have a technical help desk that takes care of. Technical help desk knows where to go to look for the information. The problematic side of this is that we get around 20,000 technical help desk calls. Lines are often busy, and the technicians have to wait. So with the technician assistant, they are now first supported with a Gen AI chatbot that can take care of the simple cases for them. We are seeing it as a delivery channel to our vast amount of different type of instructions there. So they can utilize the Gen AI chatbot first. Of course, if they are not able to solve the problem with that, there is still that in-person technical support. But we are trying to release the human power, the human brain power for the more complex cases there. So taking care of the simple cases with some technology there. We started first with we'll just scan the PDF files, right, type of thing. I said that no, we have a delivery service that we can use. So we do not want to train and retrain anything for the Gen AI. We publish a lot so we're talking about 1,200 documents yearly. So we do not want to do that. We have a thing. We do use that, and we use metadata to fetch the content in a smart way. Guess what? Of course, machine processing, it loves the structured information combined with the well-designed metadata that we talked about. So now I'm getting increasingly lots of requests on how do I get our information into that technical information portal that you have, because Gen AI just loves the format that it is in there. So good decision not to go with the PDF files. Our setup is so that we know what they're working with. So that is the first setup, that we have some data from the equipment, as I said, connectivity. So when the technician asks the Gen AI chatbot, they can utilize their local language. The corpus itself is fully in English. That's where we have the most of the information. It's available in English, but we utilize on-the-fly translation, so to translate the question into English. Gen AI then goes into looks in many data sources, the main being the technical information portal, and it utilizes that REST API interface from there. Starts to use the metadata. We know that from the equipment data. And then it gets a limited set of relevant information, and based on that set, it will generate a summary of what to do. If they asked something in French, for example, then that reply would then also again be translated on the fly back to their local language. So they can utilize their local language. They will also get links to the actual sources in technical information portal. So in case there's something fuzzy about the answer, they don't know what to do, they can always go back to the original source. So as I said, like a delivery channel, instant access to what they need, instead of them having to go there and looking for information with the correct keywords. They can use their natural language. People keep calling this a game changer. I say that it's not really for us. So we knew it all along. We knew the power of XML. We knew the power of metadata. But for Gen AI and the users, it is actually a game changer. How do you feel about this type of statement, gentlemen?
Well,
is it a game changer?
It is, but that's interesting what you describe here. And maybe I will ask a question again, because what we see at our other customers, that most of the time, AI project starts with IT teams, developers, and they sort of start collecting every document they can find in the company and throw those PDFs at the technology. And then usually those projects are a bit, let's say, failing, hallucinating, and people don't find it relevant. And you're mentioning here that you're providing this structured content, which makes this technology work. Definitely, there's a huge difference between starting with documents or with structured content. But did you initially started and people came to you and said, we need structured content, or did you experience the same journey at KONE where people starting doing with PDF, not working? So how was that? How did you achieve that and land in that successful position?
Yeah, we had an earlier implementation where we were using the content from the portal then, but it was not dynamic. So basically what we had to do was training and retraining of the content in there. And that was not a sustainable model in a sense. We cannot have people feeding in manually things for Gen AI. That doesn't really work. It definitely not in our setup. We need to make sure that they always get the up-to-date information. When we first started with this, they were saying that, hey, we do PDF files. I said that I have a loud voice, luckily. So I said that, no, we are not doing that. So, we have this thing, and I kind of, based on the previous experience, I wanted to make sure that we are actually implementing this in a wise way this way. And it is working like magic. As I said, we do magic, but it is working like magic, and people are saying that, wow, this is actually working so nicely. But you do have to try to be loud. You try to be a part of this, because in many cases, the Gen AI things are driven by either IT or then data scientists, and they might not even understand the power of XML or structured content. So, and how well that works. So I did have one of the data scientists actually after one of the initial meetings approaching me and saying that you were talking about metadata, but what is it actually? I'm like, hey, let me tell you, it governs a lot of things. So you do have to also take that opportunity to tell the people that we know what we're doing.
Okay, new role then for the tech writing team, educating IT people internally to structured content and metadata. Yep. New task for you. Okay, good.
Yes. And I can see lots of things changing. There are lots of things changing with Gen AI. And one of the things is that maybe the editing type of things will maybe disappear at some point, but we choose lots of value in validated structured content that actually works like it does in our case. We've only gotten started on this journey. So, this is basically, there are many things that you can do. So this is only one example. So we do lots of delivery directly into the applications. People love it. We're getting really good feedback from the field. Gen AI, we are measuring satisfaction levels. As you saw in the video, they are happy about it. And I think this now concludes our presentation. Have a really great rest of the day. You can find all of us on LinkedIn. Please do connect with us if you want to know more. We are happy to talk about, we'll talk about Tech Talk any day. So, and metadata and structured content any day. So please do connect with us.
Thank you for the time. It was a pleasure chatting with you guys. And, also worth mentioning, I'm giving a talk in an hour, so you can see that as well as a replay. And it's pretty much aligned with everything we discussed here, which is the value of structured content and the impact it has for the end user. So it's not really about free topics. It's more like structured content, modern delivery. So if you want to look at it from a product perspective and technological perspective, please join. So this presentation in about an hour.
And thank you.
Have a good day all. Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you for attending.